Greetings all! Today, we will be examining the relatively rare Psychic Flying type Pokemon Sigilyph, the Avianoid Pokémon. Sigilyph are bizarre automatons whose physical form makes little sense from a functional standpoint, being more about style than anything else. They possess a spherical main body colored with a black base, and green ring-like patterns with two blue eye-like spots and a pointed black probe at the top, pointed like a beak, with a third eye spot in the middle of the structure. All three of these eye spots are functional, and act as the eyes of these creatures, though only the one attached to the pointed node on top is able to show much expression. Attached to the main body are a series of appendages, including a pair of wing-like structures attached near the top of the main body, painted gold with blue and red stripe patterns at the tips of the appendages, two black, three-pronged structures that jut out from the sides of the main body, two tiny barb-like protrusions on the lower part of the body that are used to balance the creature while it is perching, and a long, tail-like appendage attached to the bottom of the main body with the same color patterns as its wing-like appendages. The creatures are completely artificial in nature and possess no soft tissue in their form at all, but they are able to replicate themselves much as normal animals do through a bizarre psychic mating practice that involves replication of a couple's body form out of nearby materials, and thus do come in both male and female forms. Sigilyph are artificial creatures made by the hands of the ancient people of the Unova region, though they have been imported to other regions like the Kalos region in rare cases. While it is believed that they were created as defensive guards and watchers for the palaces of the region in ancient times, their incredibly stylized bodies also suggest that they were not treated as mere workers, but made as works of art to inspire both awe and terror from those that dare to invade the territory they were built to protect. Their bodies are made out of hardened and fired clay, made from mud locally sourced in the Unova region. But while the members of the Baltoy family, which are also made of clay, are relegated as partial ground types as a result of this material being used to make them, there is a critical difference between the mud used to make them and what was used to make Sigilyph. Due to the presence of high concentrations of light and magnetizable metals in the clay used to make them, these creatures are not only fairly lightweight, but, more importantly, their bodies are capable of conducting an electric current. Because of this, they are actually vulnerable to electrical attacks, and cannot be logically assigned as ground types. Instead, the unique powers that these creatures possess allow them to utilize the air around them as both a weapon of offense and as a way of moving around, and truly must, as their bodily form makes it almost impossible for them to actually fly. As a result, they are classified as partial flying types instead. Interestingly enough, their unique form is believed to have been supposed to represent that of a bird, complete with a tail and wings, the protrusions on their sides being flattened two-dimensional feet, and their upper protrusion also being a two-dimensional beak, showing that a great deal of artistic love and care went into their overall design. Sigilyph are primarily psychic types, but as mentioned above, they are also partial flying types, not only for their shared weaknesses with the type, but also as a result of them being natural experts in the utilization of aerokinesis, or the psychic manipulation of air. Not only can these creatures use their psychic powers to manipulate air currents to create artificial lift that keeps them suspended in the air, but it also allows them to wield the power of the winds as a weapon in battle, learning attacks like Gust, Air Cutter, and Air Slash, among a number of other flying type moves and a load of psychic type moves. However, this goes even further, as their abnormal psychic powers also feed into their abilities. These creatures have the capacity to surround themselves in a shield of low-grade psychic energy that is weak enough that it doesn't have a noticeable effect for the most part, but essentially warps the space around them, altering the effects of status-inflicting moves. As a result, they are the only Pokemon that can normally possess the Wonder Skin ability as a base ability, as well as the Magic Guard ability. Moreover, if their eyes are in fantastic condition and have a higher than normal concentration of magnetizable metal in them, it is possible for them to be able to focus their psychic energy through them to amplify the power of their moves in certain cases, granting them the Tinted Lens ability as a hidden ability. As far as their stats go, these creatures are relatively decent Pokemon that can definitely put up a fight with their array of psychic and flying type attacks and techniques. While their base HP, attack, and special defense stats are below average for both a fully evolved psychic and flying type Pokemon, their base defense and special attack stats are at least higher than average for a fully evolved flying type, and their base speed stat is higher than average for a fully evolved Pokemon of both types. Though they might seem fairly quirky and odd to many, These Avianoids are a lot stronger than they look, and can definitely prove to be useful with the right amount of training and a bit of work. It is unknown exactly how these creatures were gifted with life, or the ability to replicate, but it can at least be said why they were built. While Pokemon like Golurk, entities also originally built by the ancient citizens of the Unova region for protection, were effective at guarding ancient temples and palaces on the ground, they were also quite large and could easily be spotted by invaders, making it easy for them to pinpoint their locations and sneak past them. In response, it seems that Sigilyph were created to silently watch the horizon, perched on the walls of ancient buildings as they behaved like the birds they were designed after, and sound and alert the moment that something unexpected or unknown approached the location they were designed to guard, before attacking them with their psychic powers. It seems that this duty was ingrained in the creatures during the act of bringing them to life, and is thus a natural component of their sentient minds, as even today, these entities continue to guard the locations they once protected in ancient times, never varying the route that they routinely fly and attacking anything and everything that dares to enter their claimed territory. This has made it difficult for scientists to get near and study the buildings that they are effectively programmed to protect, but they are thankfully more intelligent than they might otherwise seem, as instead of always attacking everything like a drone, much like a bird, they can be reasoned with and communicated with, to allow safe passage by showing them that those wishing to pass are not a threat in the slightest to the crumbling structures they continue to protect. This can also make them easier for trainers to work with, as this intelligence puts them above many actual bird Pokemon, and in turn can make them valuable partners to work with if one is lucky enough to find and capture a specimen. Though they might look too bizarre and alien to ever be of much use, Sigilyph are deceptively strong and loyal fighters that can more than use the power of the wind to their advantage in battle and blow around the opposition as much as they like. You might have to go out of your way to find one of these rare beasts, but they can definitely be worth it both as a companion and a combatant on the battlefield. If you wish to take them far from their original home though, make sure that you gather a scrap of building material or something of the like from the site. Others of their kind might get mad at you for your act of thievery, but it's more than worth it to keep these automatons under control by providing them a piece of their home whenever they start to feel homesick. Thank you all for watching this video. It is always an honor to be able to speak with you all on the subject of Pokemon in a way that brings me great joy and happiness in my work. If you would like to keep tabs on past and future work, click that subscribe button, check out my work on DeviantArt, and don't be shy about following me on Twitter, where you can find pertinent announcements on upcoming work before it is officially posted. Links to both can be found in the video description. If you would like to support my work and help Miguel and I continue to produce more content for you and improve upon our presentation, please visit us at my Patreon page, which you can also find a link to in the video description.
Yeah, no.
With that, I thank you for watching and I wish you well.